What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a monthly manifestation for the sign of Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, you guys are last but not least on the zodiac lineup for group one. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. So basically, as you guys know, I'm really kind of been struggling to get the monthlies out. It's primarily based off of the energy of the collective and my energy, kind of as well as I'm doing the same as you all. Evolving, things are ever changing. The month of April has been really focused on a lot of the solar eclipse plus the new moon that was on the 8th. So it was like double moon energy going on. In my opinion, sun and moon kind of merging together in a way. But mostly a lot of mental, I guess you can say mental anguish, I guess, for Scorpio collective, okay, more so mental. And so maybe having trouble with following your intuition a little bit, judgment, things like that, have probably been plaguing you a bit, okay? So that could have possibly been going on for you guys during the week of the 8th or the entire month, all right? um, as far as so new issues, if you will, kind of bubbling up for you, maybe recalling things in a way that maybe you looked at it one way when it happened, and now you're looking back on it now and trying to figure out, what needs to change going forward as of now, okay? So, come the 15th of April, which is, of course, already passed, is first quarter moon energy where we check on the progress of ourselves, okay, Scorpios. And so that's probably where you were during the week of the 15th, in the sense of if you're making any proper, uh, improvements of some sort on your mental health, such as maybe getting a therapist, talking it out with people, as far as connections or friendships, or just, interpersonal relationships, if you will. Um, Whatever you needed to do to kind of, you're more so private, so you may have done things more so on your own, maybe researching, maybe self-help books, if you didn't want to really dive into any kind of like therapy sessions, which is fine as long as you're getting something from it over time, okay? And then again, just your good old faithful journaling, okay? For some of you, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I would definitely suggest, I'm not a therapist. I'm not, licensed or anything like that. I'm just empathic. I have studied psychology. I do deal mostly in emotional intelligence. And so I would definitely probably suggest you, as far as spiritually, to check out the um, readings that I have on the channel, as far as one of the ones that for some reason I don't have written down somewhere. Tap into your souls, okay? The tap into your soul readings would be your best bet, to kind of check in on as you're dealing with traumas, okay? Where we deal in what held you back in the past to what continues to hold you back and how to change moving forward, okay? You can find those on the channel in the playlist. I really enjoyed doing those readings, and they're very simple, kind of straightforward, and you can follow them along as more of an activity if you like. Not so much geared toward resonating with you because it is past energy, but past energy is always timeless. So you never know when something might resonate with you. Okay. So I would definitely suggest those readings to you. Okay. Now, moving forward, the 23rd, which was the full moon, which is supposed to be a completion date. Okay. A completion date in the sense of wrapping up things, maybe obtaining whatever your personal goal is for yourself, Scorpio. And you may have made some decisions on this day or during this week of the full moon. Really heightened energy for you guys when it comes to full moon energy. And maybe, again, some unsure intuition, if you will, on certain things, maybe not seeing things clearly on particular situations. But nonetheless, um, I feel like this imminent amount of stress in making a decision, and the aftermath of it, if you will, or just making the decision. Okay. Which, if you were stressed out in making the decision, then maybe you shouldn't have made the decision just yet. Maybe it should have been something for you to wait on until you got a full understanding. Okay. So, with that being said, when we're going to get into the reading now, but remember, we're going on past tense. Okay. And so, whatever you have decided at this time, Scorpios, it is probably going to roll over into May, as far as getting you deeper into your thoughts. Okay. I do have another reading that is coming up. All my love readings are finished. I do also have energy shout outs that you all may want to check out if you are more of a metaphysical person, dealing in crystal work, meditation, and things of that nature. You can watch those. Those will slowly be ending as well, but I still have a few signs that I need to get readings done for them before I close out the series on that. Okay. So for now, it is still the right here and now's heart's desires and the monthly manifestations. If you want to kind of keep abreast of the readings here, they are ever changing as the energy of the collective changes, and per divine instruction, I get downloads all the time in the sense of what readings really are best for the collective that I have here on YouTube. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. One from the top is in reference to new moon energy. One from the bottom is in reference to first quarter moon energy. And then one energetically from the middle. I'm going to go with this one. Even though I felt myself going towards another, which is probably how you guys are feeling, Scorpio, as far as bouncing from one thought to the next, or people, that's possibly how you're feeling. Okay. And hopefully it works out for you if you pay attention to the things that hold true to you. Okay. So let's see what's going on, or what was going on in the new moon energy. What was the mindset towards your goal or intention for the new moon on the 8th for Scorpio? You and your loved ones are safe. Okay. New moon energy in Cancer. Okay. New moon energy in Cancer. You don't have to necessarily be a Cancer. You could have been dealing with one, possibly. It's just an honorable mention. If you like, you can look up what the characteristics are for full moon in Cancer on your own time. I just, relate as far as what sign. Okay. So you and your loved ones are safe. This was past energy. Maybe you were worried about loved ones. Maybe there were some things going on within your family at the time. Scorpios. Could be someone in your family that has is a Cancer or has Cancer in their chart. But nonetheless, just maybe health concerns possibly that may have arisen. Just feels like an energy, Scorpio, of you guys kind of having deja vu in a way, of consistently things happening within your family. Okay. With that being said, it could have been something and kind of rolling into the first quarter moon energy of maybe getting yourselves checked, maybe looking into some kind of genetic testing, as far as asking if this is still ongoing. And maybe you probably already have done this, but just in case, if you couldn't do it, let's say it's an elder, as far as your parent, um, you could potentially do this for your children, going forward, is maybe checking some genetic testing, where you can see whether or not if what you are diagnosed with or a family member was diagnosed with, if it can be passed on. Okay. And that's in the sense of the medical term of cancer, if that did pop up for anyone in your family, or Alzheimer's, things of that nature. Okay. So maybe that leads into the 15th energy of the first quarter moon of possibly getting yourself checked out, especially based off of maybe age. Most of the time, anything medical that ends up happening, any ailments or illnesses with someone who's in an older generation, usually doctors suggest that probably once you hit about your 40s or mid 30s, that you should probably, start, getting tested for certain things that may have transcribed within another family member. It's usually immediate. But again, don't mean to get off track, but it kind of moves into what your potential progress could have been for the month after something that detrimental happening within your family collective. All right. So let's get into the 15th, which is the first quarter moon. Is, have you made any progress, or did you make any progress during the first quarter moon on the 15th, Scorpio? And the answer is nothing will come of this situation. Okay, nothing will come of this situation. Now, this can go twofold in the sense of one, whatever transpired with your family member was just a, let's say, a false negative, or false alarm, and so nothing really transpired. You had to wait a while for testing to come back, and everything came back negative. Okay. If that be the case, congratulations to you, and I'm glad your family is safe. Okay. As stated in the new moon energy. Now, for others of you, maybe you still feel as though because of what that result was, you didn't really need to do any testing. But for me to have still said it in the beginning of the reading, before we got to this placement, is something you may want to consider moving forward. Okay. Just as a stick a pin in it, it comes about when it's needed. Okay. So, nothing to really get, kind of riled up about. It's just information that's there for future reference. Okay. For others of you, you may need it. Okay. Now, these readings are supposed to be meant for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. As far as Scorpio is concerned. Okay. But at this time, first quarter moon, nothing really came of the situation. Okay. Now, for others of you, as it pertains to relationships, nothing really comes of the situation in the sense of, if no one is doing any kind of activity whatsoever as far as exchanging of words, things like that. Maybe you've been sidetracked to not really care about the situation. And so again, Scorpios, as we go in and out of this energy with you guys of dark night of the soul or shadow work that needs to be done, again, other things took precedent to make you not really care about anything else. Okay, because something else takes more priority over something else or someone else. Okay, now let's look at the future well, not future, but full moon energy. Sorry, I get kind of, I guess, Heart's Desire reading kind of came in a little bit there. Okay. Full moon energy, 23rd, which is just passed. Okay. Has the intention or goal been achieved? Okay. For Scorpio, adjustments are required. Okay. Adjustments are required. Now, we could take this, Scorpio, to mean multiple things. Okay. Adjustments in the sense of, again, your mental state. He's probably been on a roller coaster ride. Okay. I can't remember who sung the song, but like emotional roller coaster. You may want to go and listen to that song. Um, but it feels like a lot of things have possibly went wrong in the last couple of weeks for you, Scorpio, in the sense of, again, mental instabilities, having to make very quick judgment calls, maybe too many assumptions, Scorpio, in the sense of making decisions well before you need to, or making assumptions on things well before needing to even make a decision. Okay. Um, and maybe you were the only one doing this while everyone else was kind of relaxed about the situation. You were a little bit more high strung. Okay. And you felt like everybody else needed to take this a little bit more seriously. But you are the only one really, on high. Okay. Now, as far as I remember, as it is pertaining to energies kind of being high, or tempers on high, kind of came up in last month's monthly manifestations, I believe, for Leo. So you could have Leo in your chart somewhere, and Leo, it has been like having a party um, in between you and, I guess, Cancer's reading. Okay, so again, you could have a placement in Leo or dealing with one. I think it's more so placement energy. So just kind of be mindful depending on where your Leo energy is. Sometimes you may not need to tap into that energy to avoid, overstressing yourself. Okay. But nonetheless, do what you will. Because Scorpios don't like being told what to do. But just trying to give you some assistance. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the clarifiers here for you guys, Scorpio, to tap into this energy a little bit. We do have the Six of Wands here with the Two of Pentacles, okay? I'm not going to say that you're headed towards a victory. You could potentially have one. It just depends on if you stop juggling things, okay? Maybe you're trying to juggle towards having a victory with something, but you're kind of maybe in your own way about things. Or on the sense of trying to outweigh if you can have a victory. Okay, so let's get into the shuffles here. 3 shuffles as usual. A split here. Victory still here, 6 of Wands, but with the Hanged Man. Okay, needing some time to look at things from a different perspective. Okay, Scorpio, you tend to have this thing about you where you primarily just look at things from your perspective, not someone else's. Okay, if you took the time to maybe, and maybe sometimes you do, but in a sense of benefiting you, if you look from a different perspective of how you can have a victory, it may be simpler than what you think. Okay, and this kind of taps on an energy from, I think, around last year sometime in the Word from the Ancestor readings, and maybe even longer than that, maybe 2 years. Maybe 2 years ago, the Ancestor reads kind of talked about something being right there in front of you, but you not seeing it. Okay, so it's all about perspective. As you can see, the Hangman is still here. Okay, with this Knight of Swords energy. Okay, now, Hangman is here. Knight of Swords is going away, charging away from it, okay? Irrational thinking, possibly, based off of thinking the perspective of someone else but actually thinking in a wrong way, okay? And irrationally saying something or coming to some kind of mindset that is not what you thought it is, okay? There's information that is missing, all right? And so before charging in with any words, you should continue to look from a different perspective. As you can see here, I just shuffled and the hangman is still here. You are refusing to do so. Here's the page of swords, okay? Page of swords, still kind of swinging away from the hanged man. Now, I feel as though this page wants to cut this hanged man down in a way in order for you to understand what you need to see, okay? But this is light, so we went from a knight of swords just before, and now we're at a page, okay? So lower your words or your tone, all right, with someone, Scorpio, okay, in order to understand, all right? Paying attention to the little things more so than the most prominent thing that you didn't like, okay, is the best thing to do. Last shuffle here, we're not splitting, we're now cutting the deck, okay? Hopefully that in itself made a little bit of sense before we actually get into this reading. Now, again, levels of this reading are, like I said, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This could have been for Rising. What I just clarified before actually picking any cards could be considered for Sun or Moon, and, you know, as it fits for you. Again, take what resonates. One from the top, which is for the new moon energy. One from the bottom, which is for our first quarter moon energy. And then one energetically from the middle, and I'm going to go here for full moon energy, and then we'll look at the bottom of the deck momentarily to see what the overall outcome is of this energy period for this spread. Now, you and your loved ones are safe is being clarified by the Nine of Cups, okay? Nine of Cups. Now, maybe this is how you felt after finding out that everyone was going to be safe or that everything was fine, is feeling very accomplished, okay? Or maybe in the sense of maybe you aided in the avoidance of something happening. Maybe you did some form of testing and you knew that you were going to come out fine, okay? So very secure within yourself and accomplishments in the sense of maybe getting yourself checked, like I said, and finding out that you are fine, okay? You do what you're supposed to do as far as your health is concerned, so you don't really have to worry about any kind of medical concerns, okay? Maybe your relative, like I said, nothing came of the situation. Moving forward, maybe their testing came back, everything was good. And again, taking your advice, doing some changes, made it possible to avoid a potential situation, okay? So very secure there in feelings of family, okay? Just of family, all right? As it pertains to you as a person, you could be a little bit unsure right now, but as far as family, you're happy there, okay? But self needs work, okay? Needs help. Now, nothing will come of this situation in regards to the 15th. First quarter moon energy is being clarified by the Four of Cups, okay? Here we are with all this Cups energy, okay? Water energy, you, yourself, Pisces, and Cancer, okay? Now, we have the Four of Cups. As you can see, this person is sitting here getting offered a cup, 3 cups in front of them, okay? Lots of thoughts emotionally, okay, which again still ties to mental in a way, okay? Nothing coming of a situation. maybe not really wanting to hear something in regards to a particular person, um, where again, Scorpio, you don't like being told what to do because you think you know everything. Sometimes, all right, you kind of have that in common with a few other signs. Um, Again, if it's factual and you can back it up, but you have to understand that other people can come with opposing mindsets, okay, and come, and debate you on a few things, okay. Everyone does not have to see eye to eye on certain things, okay, but because you choose not to is why nothing comes of the situation, okay. If you are just definitive in what you want, which is not saying that you can't be, but sometimes we have to be open minded to other people's mindsets and perspectives, okay? If someone is genuinely coming to you, why not be open to listening to them, aside from thinking that you, again, are warranted to feel the way that you feel? But if you know the situation and how things were being carried in a way, why not be opened to listening to someone, okay? Unless you're just in that, like I said, dark night of the soul. As you can see, this person's arms are folded, not really even looking at the cup in particular, okay? And honestly, in my opinion, it probably is the same size cup, but for some reason it feels as though, like I said, genuine thought, not like any of the other cups that are just sitting here in front. You're spending more time looking at that than you are the genuine action that's happening in front of you, okay. More focused on other things takes you away from and makes you more closed-minded, okay. Let's move forward with this full moon energy. Coming up with adjustments are required is being clarified by, again, more cups energy. You all are definitely in y'all feelings, okay. uh you can like if you got an attitude about it. I don't care, okay. King of Cups energy with adjustments are required, okay. King of Cups mature energy here, or so to speak, with all this, Cups energy that kind of leads to it, because you're going, down in Cups in a way, from 9 to 4 to now a King of Cups, okay. Thinking you have everything figured out, okay. But if you're leading with emotions, that's why adjustments need to be um, required, okay. So you have this King of Cups literally sitting within water. This king is not on land like the Queen of Cups is, okay, opposing this King of Cups, all right. This King of Cups has a chalice. He does have a small scepter here, but is floating alone with this boat behind him, okay. So I don't know how much in control you really are of your feelings, okay. You're a lone leader in no on no land, okay. You're just controlling emotions at this point, or trying to, but I think you're more so leading with emotion than really with your mind, okay, because you're battling all the time, okay, is what I'm feeling, especially with adjustments are required. Now, let's look at the bottom of the deck, Scorpio, for the overall outcome of this energy. And look at that. It's the 7 of goddamn swords. Why does this pretty much say to me every time when I do the 7 of swords? If y'all have followed me long enough and have started learning how I read, 7 of swords to me means having the strength to clean up, okay. Every time when I see this, it could go many of ways. It could be that this person is laying down swords, but in my personal opinion, he's picking up, okay. 2 swords are still left, meaning that there are at least 5 in his hand, okay. It's time to change, okay. It is time to clean up some mess that may have been left by you, okay. or just from, you know, your emotional standpoint on some things. Okay. Now, you do have where he's kind of walking towards this spread in a way, as far as cleaning up. If you've said something, Scorpio, or done some things based off of emotions, all this cups energy here, okay, pulling on people's heartstrings, whatever the case may be, it's time to clean it up or admit to certain things, okay? If you need to admit to yourself, then do so. If you need to admit to other people, do it gingerly, okay, in steps, okay? The next thing we're going to look at is what is the message of support to achieve or manifest what your goal is, Scorpio. If your goal is more geared towards emotions, then it's going to take some time, okay? And again, as we saw the Hanged Man playing a part in the clarifying energy, you have to look at things from a different perspective in order for you to understand and be able to move forward with some things, okay? Not only do you need to clarify for yourself, but you need to clarify or provide closure to others, okay? So we're going to shuffle a bit here. If anything comes out from Spirit, you know, we'll take it. Otherwise, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Working our way up to about 3 messages for the Scorpio collective. Okay. Messages of support. And something just flipped. I think I see where it flipped, and I'm going to try and get to it, and that will be one of your messages that we'll put out. Okay. So we're taking that one. And I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. After the shuffle, I mean cut. And then we'll pull the rest of your messages from there. And I'm going to start there before I mention this one. Okay? So we're starting at One Enchanted Evening, okay? One Enchanted Evening, the perfect night, okay? So trying to plan, I guess, Scorpio, is, you know, your best bet, okay? In the sense of, again, leading up to this, okay? Leading up to a perfect night. You could, at the time of seeing this reading, be doing that, okay? For others of you, it's about doing your cleanup first and then getting to this, okay? In baby steps, okay? The next message is the festival, okay? The festival. Cancer also got this card as well. It says, creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event, okay? So it's energetic blueprint, meaning that whatever you have coming up is going to be pretty successful, very enjoyable, very energetic, okay? Positive energy as always, I hope. And so no needs to worry about that, okay? So we're going to move that over to the side here. One Enchanted Evening. And then we have Fiery Magic, okay? Fiery Magic, which says, respectfully work with the fairies and elementals to achieve your goals, okay? Respectfully. Respectfully means not for personal gain, okay? Respectfully work with the fairies and elementals to achieve your goals, okay? Working, and it kind of gives me this vibe of the magician in a way. And so you have to be able to work with all the elements of balancing yourself, okay? Working on that shadow self or that dark night of the soul in a way. Scorpio, like I said, for those who are metaphysicalists or dabble in crystal work, you may need some new crystals. You may need to deep cleanse your crystals. I do like to use like distilled water for mine sometimes. If I feel there's a deep cleanse, sometimes I primarily go on new moon energy if I want to invoke new and clean energy, along with cellulite, which helps my crystals during new moon energy. If I want to seal in the intent of a crystal, I then use the full moon. Okay. Now, if you strongly have not been doing anything with your crystals, then you definitely want to blast any old negative energy, because you have to understand, while those crystals are being utilized for helping you achieve your goals, if you are carrying negative energy, it is attaching to those crystals. Okay. And so you have to wipe those crystals off. So some deep cleansing, you can use ocean water, not anything, maybe pure fresh water. You don't want to use salt, because it could maybe, erode the crystals depending on if they're water soluble. So you might want to be careful. But you can use like some fresh water rinsing if you want. But I use at home, I use distilled water. I let it sit in the water for the intended amount of days that I need. So if it's about centering myself, then they stay in there for 3 days. If it's about changing my energy or the flow of energy, then I do 5. If it's about protecting my energy, it's primarily geared towards whatever crystals I'm using that is for protecting my energy, then I soak them in that. Okay. Same thing goes for if you don't want to use water and you want to put them in a windowsill, then you need to keep them in that windowsill for the recommended amount of days. You'll know or feel the difference of your crystals as you're picking them up. So I do believe in energy transference. If you can literally just touch or hover your hand over your crystal and you feel this eminent energy from it, that means it's ready. Okay. So again, it's all based off of what you need. Okay. If you need to change your mindset, then definitely those crystals that are geared towards your mental state, such as amethyst, that is, one of the biggest ones, heart space, your rose quartz, or strawberry quartz, dealing with, words, malachite, again, wanting to change, 5 days. Okay. 5 days, definitely more so in sunlight than anything. Okay. And if you can do it before new moon energy, such as what we have coming up on the 7th in May is new moon, then I would suggest you get in on that now. Being that today is the 25th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would be hitting right before the 1st. If you wanted to do that. Okay. So just kind of, again, whatever works for you. Now, let's get into what is the energy of the present self of Scorpio. What is the present energy of Scorpio? Okay. I'm going to shuffle by 3, cutting the deck, and then we're going to go to the bottom. And then we'll pull from the book additional messages. Okay. At the bottom of the deck for you, Scorpio, present self energy is wow, life, breath. Okay. Life, breath. Okay. The number 27 here. Okay. What is it that you truly want, Scorpio? Because we have the heart here, and the heart is kind of almost releasing this steam. And the same amount of steam or ether, if you will, is coming out of this woman's nose that is kind of like emanating from some clouds, slowly attached kind of attached to this heart space that's kind of glowing. This is new energy alert because this is the first time this card has ever come out. So welcome to the channel. Hopefully you subscribe so you can get notified the next time I do a reading for your sign. 7, inner strength, okay? I feel like there needs to be some form of strength in the heart space. Maybe you're kind of overloading yourself, and again, in the sense of stress, it's time to take a breath and kind of relieve yourself from it, okay? Let that negative energy, which stress is, out. Again, positive energy through the nose, exhaling negative energy through the mouth, okay? You have possibly been speaking a lot of negative words to yourself and to other Scorpio based off of nothing that is, pertaining to them, okay? It's just based off of what you have been personally going through, and you kind of have to stop doing that, okay? Whatever is going on in your personal world is affecting, an extension of it, okay? This is, of course, air, okay? Energy. It says breath, life. Focus on your breath. Allow it to guide your actions and flow. Fear often means breath holding. Let that all go. There is a place for slowing down your breath and being mindful of it. Take a deep breath and rethink your strategy. Take a deep breath and pause a few seconds before exhaling, which will train you to give yourself that little bit more time and space, okay? To give you that little bit more time and space. Zoi, Z-O-I, is ancient Greek for life, okay? It also says the emotion of fear or feeling stress often sends hormones rushing into the body that speed up breathing, or shock will cause you to hold your breath in the form of rapid inhalation. If you realize this is a behavior you regularly do, try to be mindful and relax. Stop and take a deeper and slower mindful breath, which will give you more action and flow, okay? Which will give you more action and flow. Certain physical and spiritual pathways, such as yoga and meditation, have always had a potent effect on the power of the breath. Breathing through the nose, using the diaphragm, and allowing your body's muscles to relax enough to get a full breath are just a few ways you can receive the power of having more oxygen in your body. Keeping your chest open in an upright posture allows your lungs to better do their work, okay? So focus on your breathing. I don't know if some of you may have been struggling with maybe asthma, possibly, and maybe some breathing exercises may be helpful to you aside from, your usual methods as far as medical wise, such as an inhaler, okay? Hopefully it's nothing too serious and can be fixable. But just kind of keep that, as far as for your mental stability and health. All right. Let's wrap up your reading, Scorpio, with what is the potential energy for the higher self? What is the potential of the higher self for Scorpio? 3 shuffles here. Having that slight trouble getting those cards to lay means your higher self is slightly struggling, as you can see, okay? Do you even want to talk to your higher self at this point, Scorpio? Be honest with yourself, okay? If you want to be stuck in that shadow, I can't be stuck there with you, okay? I really can't. And I have Scorpio in my 7th house. I tell y'all this all the time. So I truly understand in the sense of morals and values, okay? The law of manifestation, okay? The law of manifestation, okay? So we have this woman here. She's kind of walking along where there's like a city, but there's also pyramids. And it looks like the moon is kind of cratered behind her with some diamonds and roses. Okay. Let go of trying to control life and allow miracles. Okay. Let go of trying to control life and allow miracles. The law of manifestation. Okay. So I feel as though, Scorpio, y'all want things to happen, and maybe you do follow the law of manifestation, but how much are you trying to control what you want and not letting the flow of the universe take control? Okay. That's page 7. 7 coming up in your reading, just a little bit. Really tapping into that inner strength, if you will. I'm going to hold this up for you guys. It says, let go and stop trying to force things to happen. This card is saying your higher self desires for you to be open to how things show up in your life. By controlling and outlining, the universe cannot deliver your dreams. Remember, spirit, your higher self, creates from nothing. So you must release the preconceived ways you think things have to happen. However, if you create in harmony with the unity of life and in service for the highest good, your ability to manifest will increase exponentially. When it comes to manifesting, mentally practice neutrality. Let go of attaching to an outcome and labeling anything as good or bad. Allow yourself to receive a gift from the universe today. Okay? So if you are not able to notice when the universe is giving you a gift, let's say you have been asking for something, Scorpio, for who knows how long, okay? But maybe you've put too much, emphasis on what it is you want and how it's supposed to come to you, or how it's supposed to be when it gets to you. That's not what the universe delves in when it comes to manifestation. The universe gives you exactly what you need when you need it, okay? Not what you want, but what you need, okay? And what you thought you want is not what you needed, okay? A want and a need are two different things. I believe a want is temporary, but a need is forever, okay? So with that being said, Scorpio, that is all that I have for you guys today. I do have other readings coming soon. So until then, peace.